What's good, hip hop? What's good? It's Robb D in the place to be. Coming up with episode 2 of season 3, the new golden era of hip hop. Now, we have come to episode 2. As you all can see my backdrop, we are paying homage to the one and only tongue twister, aka Twista, one of the fastest, if not the fastest, rappers in the history of hip hop. We're paying homage to him and his contributions. And man, lots of great things going on as of late. As you all can tell, I'm always celebrating with my glass of Henny. And somebody asked me one time, is this Hennessy with Coke? No, you all. This is Hennessy straight out the bottle, all right? I just want to get that out there, all right? So let's get that out the way. But man, excited. Glad to have you all with us again. And for our followers, supporters, and listeners all over the world, one more time. And so the special guest that I have with me today, I'm actually not going to introduce him. I'm actually going to have him introduce himself to you all because I've been chasing this cat for almost a year to get on this podcast, and I finally was able to run him down and come on and hang out with me. So he is created a piece of music called The Rise of the Falling. I don't know if you all can see this or not, but this, I got a chance for him to come by my house, gave me an early release of The Rise of the Falling before it was released to the public. And I will tell you all that Rise of the Falling from this guy and his group is a banger. It's on iTunes, every single streaming platform that's out there. So go out, check it out. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in my special guest for this evening, and I'm going to have him introduce himself to you all. So, special guest, the floor is yours. Welcome, and tell the folks who you are, man.
What up, everybody? It's Tyler Keast, aka TK, aka it's TK. What up, Robb Diggie?
What's good, TK? What's good? TK in the building, representing Lucid Man, I'm so excited to have you on, brother. Like I mentioned, I've been chasing your ass for almost a year. I finally got you to sit still, spend some time with us today, man. So hope everything is good. And also for you all that you didn't know, that he is having a show at the Roxy, that he has it behind him. But by the time you all see this, the show would have already taken place. So we'll put some comments down there. I'll let you guys know how it was. If you all have not seen Lucidparadoxx in the live show, it is mother phenomenal. All right, that's all I'm gonna say at that. These guys will give you your money's worth. They are the real deal. They're box office. I'm telling you all right now, box office show. So I can't wait to go out, support Tyler Keast, Lucid tomorrow night at the show, man. But Tyler, how are you doing, man? How are you feeling, brother? How are things going your way, man?
Absolutely chaotic. It's been crazy. Between like the family and the music and the work, it's been absolutely nuts. Past year flew by. I got to keep looking up at the calendar and reminding myself it's 21 and not 20.
Man.
But it's been great, man. There's been a lot of blessings. Obviously, with Lucidparadoxx, we just kicked that off last year, and we picked a hell of a year to do it. But I mean, with everything that happened, I'm sure you picked up on some of the lyrics, but we pushed through anyway.
Yeah.
And we still dropped hits. We still made stuff happen. We still did videos. We still did shows. We still did all the craziness.
Yep.
So it's been wild, man. But I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you.
No doubt, man. You on your way, man. You on your way. You on your way.
Yeah, we on our way.
Check this cat out, man. I'm telling y'all, man. His album is phenomenal, man. Him and his boys, man. So I'm super excited to hear what you guys got to offer for the live show. However, today we are going to be talking about Mr. Carl Mitchell, aka Twista. All right, so let me run down some facts about Twista before we jump into the discussion. Sure. Twista was known at one point as the fastest rapper on planet Earth. He was in the Guinness Book of World Records with, I want to say, 585 syllables in 1 minute. The brother can talk fast, really fast. However, as he progressed in hip hop, he got a way to slow himself down and actually enunciate some of the syllables, which is one of the reasons why Twista is so well known. Is he is one of the godfathers of the Choppa style, which is really, really known in the Midwest, in my area here where I live at. I'm from the South, so we don't really have a lot of the Choppa style, but the Choppa style was created in the Midwest, and Twista has a big part of that style of rap and hip hop. So he's one of the godfathers in that. He actually, when I first saw Twista, was on a song from Do or Die. If anybody remembers Do or Die, they had a song called Po Pimp. At the end of Poe Pimp, Twista takes the last verse and literally just destroys the track.
Destruction.
Just literally just blazes the damn track. So that kind of reintroduced Twista to the world. So he dropped Tongue Twister, went by Twista. And then what he did the next year was drop Adrenaline Rush, which was dropped in June of 1997, a platinum album. To me, you guys, Adrenaline Rush is what I consider a undiscovered classic. So it's not a classic hip hop album, but it's like right at the peak. It's kind of one of those underground classics. The first 5 songs of the album are dope. Like no BS. The first 5 albums are dope. And then it kind of waters down and then it picks back up at the end. But some of the songs that I chose out this week for our discussion, the title track, of course, Adrenaline Rush, which is, if you all saw my intro video for season 3, that is how our season started, with Adrenaline Rush, a dope ass track. Feels So Good, Overdose, Emotions, Get It Wet, Death Before Dishonor. Those are the first 5 tracks, and then Get It Wet is further down the album. So that was released in June 97. The platinum sales. The Source only gave it 3 mics, unfortunately. So Source, I think it deserved 4, but that's a conversation for another day. And then he got together with his boys called the Speed Knot Mobsters in October of 98, called Mobster Billy. And on Mobster Billy was just him and his buddies getting together, making some music. One of the songs I like off of there was called Dreams, where it's kind of slowed down, where he's talking to the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a ladies kind of flow. I like that. And then later on, I want to say it was, correct me if I'm wrong, TK, I want to say it was maybe late 99, early 2000, Memphis Bleak from Rockefeller put out a song called Is That Your Chick? He made an appearance on that song, but I think it's outside of our zone. It might be in the 2000s. You guys can fact check me if you want, but he was on that track as well.
Because he didn't drop another record till what, like 04, 05?
Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, he didn't do anything for a while after Mobster Billy, so he did some features, and that was one of the key features that I remember him actually being on, just killing that track too. So, but that is the premise for our discussion for this evening. Talking about Twista. I got a shirt on. I got the backdrop for Chicago,
I love it,
behind me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm ready to amped up. And the first question that I have for TK, aka Tyler Keast, is impact. So when you think of Twista, what is his impact to hip hop, Tyler Keast?
You know, I think Twista definitely brought the city of Chicago together early on, like especially when he first started out. So I mean, that's something he's always going to be well known for. But in the grand scheme of things, as much as I love him personally, I think he gets overlooked a lot. Yeah. But when it comes to chopping, you know, I think if he's not in the one of 3 names that you mentioned, then you're absolutely crazy. Yeah. So I mean, when it comes to impact, you know, it's definitely what he did for the city of Chicago, and then chopping as a whole.
Absolutely. You know, I don't think I mean, if you think about it, in the early 90s, there was Twista, there was Bone Thugs, and then later on Tech 9 kind of initiated. So to me, those are the 3 kings of the Choppa hip hop style, if you want my opinion. But Twista is definitely in there. But I like Adrenaline Rush. There was something special about that album where I don't know if it's the point in my life when the album dropped. I don't know what it is, but it's just something special about that particular album. So TK, what is your favorite song off of that particular album? Which one that resonates with you the most?
Not even to be that dude, man, but Adrenaline Rush, the song, is literally played like, you can ask my wife, played on a daily basis in my house, whether it's like me in the shower, me in the office, me like in the road, like doing whatever. Adrenaline Rush gets played every single day. So I mean, you know, that one like definitely resonates with me the most. And it's honestly the first track that I heard of him where like I just kept like playing it over and over and over, and like I was like, you know, when I was younger, I would try to go like line by line and like see how far I could get, you know, and obviously I'd never make it more than like half a verse. But when you like hear that this dude is literally like, you know, on first glance it's just like you don't hear nothing, and then it's just like full story. And you slow it all the way down, and I went into the house and then I took a seat. And, you know, it's like full story, like holy shit, this dude's actually saying stuff. And so like that was the craziest thing about like that whole album for me, is it was my, like, other than hearing about like him in the Guinness Book of World Records, which I told you about, that was my first time ever hearing about him, was seeing that video. Yeah. But aside from that, it was this record right here. And, you know, for obvious reasons, like I just think the amount of time and effort that went into that record is why it's a classic.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. That's the reason why I picked it out to start off season 3. That particular song, I resonate with it as well. So I am agrees with you, my brother. I am agrees with you. I like that one. I also like "Feel So Good" too. "Feel So Good" is another kind of a sleeper, where he kind of slows it down just a little bit for you to catch it. You know what I mean? One more, woke up, shy boy, took about, brushed the gold teeth like Slick Rick. So he kind of slows down a little bit, but I'm not a rapper, so I'm only trying to. I won't even try to attempt that. Twista, you got the crown, man. I can't even emulate that. But it's just the way that he breaks it down. And as you mentioned, there's a story in there that he's actually trying to tell if you listen to it close enough. You know what I mean? So so with that in mind, you know, when we talk about Twista and what he's done for hip hop, his impact has been stamped all over hip hop. He's done features and cameos, even outside of the new golden era in the 2000s. You know, with the Kamikaze album that we talked about offline before we aired. You know, with Slow Jams, I think Overnight Celebrity.
Oh yeah.
You know, all those great hits he had in the 2000s. A nice little run in the mid 2000s.
He had a feature run there for a while on some like Lil Wayne style shit, you know, where he was definitely on like a streak of like really good tracks, you know, that like made, you know, movie soundtracks and all that good stuff. So yeah, he had a feature run there for.
Oh yeah, no question, no doubt about it. He definitely had a good run in the mid 2000s. But then, you know, he tried to recreate Adrenaline Rush, the album, and then, you know, it kind of just couldn't catch up with the time. Sometimes hip hop's, you know, it shifts, goes to a different sound, and you know, that's just how it is, you know, at times. But however, we're still gonna be talking about Twista, and one of the things that me and TK, you guys, had a conversation about before we taped was legendary status, right? So shout out to my hip hop group, Hip Hop Heads Unite, or Triple HU. So all my partners, my fans, everybody on there, my homeboys. That's a private group that we have where we have hip hop discussion, and on there we talked about, you know, whether Twista is considered a hip hop legend or not. So I think it depends on your point of view, but I'm gonna pass a question over to TK on this one first and get his take on that. And so TK, the question is, do you think Twista is considered a hip hop legend? Yes or no, and why?
Man, I'm gonna get slayed in some of these comments, but it's okay. So I got a love and a lot of respect for Twista, but like when I hear legend, to me, you know, I think like ultra, like not even superstars, but like ultra stars, you know, like there's like a very, very select, you know, in my eyes, there's like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about people that not only like have the talent and have the skill and show it on wax, you know, but they got the record sales to back it up.
Yeah.
You know, they got the sold out arenas to back it up. They got like, you know, just outrageous stuff that jumps off the resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as good as Twista was, like, I don't have him in that list of people, at least for me, in terms of like ultra stars with hip hop. You know, like he's definitely a superstar of the Midwest, like hands down. And I think that's something that you and I both agreed on, like next to, you know, him and Tech-9 and obviously Bone Thugs and Harmony. Between the three of them, you know, Midwest legends all day long. But like superstars, ultra stars, like I don't think he quite made it there, man.
Yeah, and I am on the same side with you. So I was on the other side of that debate as well. So, so yes, the comments are going to come. I'm ready for it. It's okay.
In all fairness, I'll say it myself. You know, I'm not one to talk. Like, I got no platinum records. You know, like,
right.
I'm still working a 9 to 5 and all that other stuff. So say what you want, but
word, man, word. We're just fans, right? Well, Tyler Keast, you guys, is an artist, a hip hop artist, an artist. I am not an artist. I'm just a podcaster. I'm just a fan of the music. But I actually agree with TK on this one. So I actually agree. I think when you talk about legendary status, I think the word is used a little bit too loosely, I think, nowadays. To your point, I think there's only a few legends in hip hop, depending upon which time period that you're in. But take nothing, to your point, TK, take nothing away from what Twista, his impact on hip hop, his stamp on hip hop is solidified. That's why he has an episode in my season. So I am a fan. But I don't know if I could call him I don't know, man. I don't know if I can call him a legend, man. I just have a hard time.
He's definitely in the story of hip hop. You know, like if there was a book like this called The Story of Hip Hop, you know, Twista would definitely be in that.
Oh, for sure.
but it's just, yeah, he wasn't there for me.
Yeah, my sentiments are with you, man. So yeah, the comments are going to come. I got it. I feel you guys. You know what I mean? I understand. But I just couldn't put them on that level. But so here's the last question I have for you, TK, and we're gonna start, wrapping things up here. And thank you once again for spending time. You are super crazy busy with your day job. With Lucid Paradoxx, man.
Yeah, it's all love.
A mass shout out to you and your wife and your family, man, for what you guys do and your contributions to your art to the music world. So I definitely give you guys a salute for that, man. So mad love to you.
Appreciate
if you all didn't know, Tyler Keast actually came to my house maybe a couple of months ago, and he gave me an early listen of The Rise of the Fallen, so I was able to listen to this before it was released to the public. So I feel like a little celebrity, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna poke my shit up a little bit. I got the release for everybody else got it, you know what I'm saying? So mad love to you, TK.
I appreciate you, bro.
My last question, man, is basically around the status of hip hop right now. So do you think that Twista's style of rap could fit in to today's hip hop? And if not, why? And if so, why?
So I know it's not as recent now, but a lot of people are still seeing it for the first time. But did you watch the show on Netflix with Cardi B and T.I. and Chance the Rapper?
Yeah, I did. I did actually.
For the life of me, I can't think of the name of it.
I think they're gonna get me on this. Somebody fact check me. I can't think of the name of it, man. But I do know
Rhythm and Flow.
Correct.
So
correct.
On Rhythm and Flow, I don't know if you remember this, but like during the first round, like all you heard was like a bunch of people like fast rapping.
Yep, that's true.
And I think it's to the point where there's so many people rapping. There's very few people that can do the chopping stuff effectively and like precise enough to where like it sounds dope on a record.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's starting to get to the point where people are challenging themselves and challenging other people to do new things and stuff like that. And one thing I wanted to talk about that I'm definitely going to credit Twista of, I don't know if you've seen that Eminem, like when he did the Godzilla challenge.
Yeah.
And all these other rappers was like, Bone Thugs did one. When Twista did his, the reason that I respected the hell out of it, and I'm glad he did it, is because everyone knows that like Eminem, when he does his fast stuff, he's punching, like every couple bars, and then he's coming, and so there's a lot of like punching in and out. Twista does not really do that. Like I have seen him perform, bro, and it is like the most precise, like prestigious performance you will ever. I'm talking like he never misses any words, and like when he takes his breath, both of his hype men like fill in his words for him. But dude, the live performance is identical to the record. And so when he did that Godzilla challenge, he was sitting there and he's like sitting there picking at his fingernails and doing all this stuff and like making it, he like wanted to let him know like, bro, I do this like without even trying. You know what I mean? Like this is what I do. Yeah. And so I think that eventually that's gonna be the pinnacle of like who can do this the best. And I think he was at the early stages of that. So he never got to witness it at the level it's at now, like I feel like if Adrenaline Rush were to come out now, it'd be even more popular than it was when it was released in the 90s, like 100%.
I completely agree with that. And that's an awesome analysis because if you think about it, 1996, 97, the Choppa style was the birth. Bone Thugs and Harmony was the birth.
Yeah, back then was like showing Transformer in 1955. People be like,
exactly.
Oh!
You know what I mean?
Like your heads explode.
And when we get to Bone Thugs, down the road, we'll talk about this as well. But with Twista and the rapid pace style, a lot of MCs are doing that now. At least, and I live in the Midwest, and it seems like every single show that I go to, everybody is rip it, and it's like, damn, man, like okay, I get it, but I understand it, but I don't get it, if that makes sense, because I'm not from the Midwest. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. So for me, moving from all over, from my time in the military, moving around, and then I landed here in the Midwest. I'm like, man, why is everybody rapping so damn fast? But then, fast, if you flash back, 24 years ago when Twista was doing it, doing it effectively, to your point, it didn't really get a lot of momentum, a lot of its praise back then. And it didn't even go, Adrenaline Rush went platinum, but it didn't go platinum on its release. It actually went platinum, I want to say like 2013 or something like that is when it actually made platinum sales. So when we had the conversation earlier, about Legend, you know, I don't know. I don't think that. I think we both agree that he's not a legend, but his stamp, his impact on hip hop is still felt in 2021. So that's definitely something that we want to pay homage to in regards to that. But yeah, man, like I didn't think about that as you well articulated that, and you know, a lot of the the rappers, the Eminems. I mean, so many Choppa style rappers are coming out, and I like it. All of it is dope. But there's only one Twista. There's only one, man. So we'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Hands down.
So
he's
Tyler,
the greatest.
I'm gonna let you get your last word on this, man. So any final thoughts? What are your final thoughts on Twista, man? What do you want people to remember
Final thoughts
when it comes to Twista and its impact on hip hop? Let you have the final word on this, bro.
Yeah, so my final thoughts are there is nobody to ever do it better in terms of fast rap than my guy. Like hands down, like cannot be questioned. Like, and I'm talking about like from a completely universal standpoint, like the way he bends, like he's the first one I ever see like dissect words to where like he can phrase them differently to like fit his rhyme schemes, you know, and he does it better than anybody.
Yeah.
You know, like Tech Nine, as great as he is, you know, like it's always got a little bit of like, you know, and like Twista's is just like straight through, like just railroad, like never. And so like, I don't know how to say it other than like, he's just the greatest to ever do it like that. And I don't think there will ever be anybody else to come along like that. Like, that's just his thing. He mastered it, and he'll always be the master of it.
And I think to your point, I agree. And I think the difference between what him and what Bone did, we're gonna get to Bone a couple weeks down the road. Bone put the harmony on top of it. We had never ever seen that in hip hop. So we saw the fast style, the Choppa style, but we never heard like harmony with it, and that was so clever. But I can't wait to get the Bone. We'll keep that for another time down the road, man. But TK, it's been an awesome time hanging out with you, brother, man. And as we have been doing, you guys, in season 3, we've been paying homage to the late, great George Floyd with the 8-second moment of silence before we get into the shout-outs. So, TK, if you could bow your head, sir, for 8 seconds, and we'll get into the shout-outs here for us. Amen. Let that man's soul rest in peace, and all the other ones that we've lost due to social injustice. So, with that in mind, Tyler Keast, the floor is yours, sir. Who are your shout-outs going to, man? Who do you want to shout out to, man?
Sure. First, shout out Robb Diggie. My guy, I appreciate you bringing me on, dude. I appreciate your movement. I stand behind everything that you do, and I appreciate you and Jess as a whole. Like, you guys are awesome. Shout out to Lucid Paradoxx. We got a big show. Like, I know this is already going to be seen by the time, or already going to be done by the time y'all see it, but the show tomorrow night is going to be fire. I'm not sure where we're going to be able to do stuff locally after this, but we'll definitely find somewhere so y'all can come out and see it. But shout out to all the homies that are going to be there with us. You know, we got Fat Shane, Scar the Monster, Ski coming up from Pittsburgh, my dude Miles B, Alex Ray coming in from New Mexico. Man. Dex is going to be there.
That's what's up.
Shout out all the homies. Lucid Paradoxx, shout out to Roswell, shout out to DJ B, shout out to Johnny Fireball, shout out to Wavy. Miss y'all boys, wish you could have been here.
No doubt. And
then, yeah, man, shout out to my wife and the kid and all the family at home.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to your wife, Jessie. Shout out to your son or daughter. Oh, you're going to kill me,
my
man.
Son.
Your son. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was a daughter in the car seat, but I can't remember when you came to the house, man. So I apologize.
No, you're good.
Shout out to Jesse and your son, your family, man. Beautiful family you have, man. And
thank you, sir.
Can't wait to see you, man, hanging out. And my shout outs to you guys are really short. So first I want to give a shout out to Lucid Paradoxx and Tyler Keast for coming on board today. So shout out to you guys and your movement. We're going to continue to push you guys as far as we can go. I'm so glad I finally got you on this podcast, man. Like, I'm so excited, man. I've been chasing your ass for a year. I finally got you to sit still, so I'm excited. So shout out to you, TK, and the family. Shout out to all of our fans, followers, and supporters. Shout out to my family. Shout out to the Queen, Jess. I could not do this without her. She is my rock. She is everything for what we do in our purpose and, you know, what we're doing in our platform we've been blessed with. And the last thing that I want to mention, I won't say any names, but we had a good friend of ours, TK, that recently went through an incident with domestic violence. And, you know, she reached out to us and told us what happened. And I got something to say about this real quick. So if you're a guy out there right now, or you're beating on women, you have lost my respect. I don't care what you've done, what your status is. It's not cool to beat on women, man. Like, I don't condone it. So, I mean, and she is a great friend of ours. So, like I said, I won't mention no names. She know who she is. We love her to death. But it's a tragedy to me to see in 2021, we still got dudes beating on women. Like, come on, man. Like, guys, we got to do better, man. We got to do better with that. Domestic violence is real. I'm an advocate for anyone that is a victim of domestic violence, whether male or female, right? Because it goes on both sides. But it was just disheartening to see her go through that. And I hope that she finds strength and she has friends and family to get her through that troubling time. And I don't condone it. So if you are out there and you're beating on your girlfriend, your significant other, your wife, stop that shit, man. That shit is not cool. All right, shit is not cool. So let's look ahead to next week. Next week we are paying homage to the one and only Percy Miller, aka Master P, man. I can't wait to talk about P, man. But shout out to TK, shout out to Lucid Paradoxx, shout out to all of our followers and supporters. And of course, as always, shout out to hip hop and hip hop music. All right, see you guys next week. All right, 100. Peace.
Much love.